What's up? How is everyone doing? It's another lovely Wednesday, and our podcast is live again.
Why are you laughing so much? What's that?
I don't know. I just really love it. I love doing this.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
it's
I
kinda
just
fun.
generally like talking, but yeah.
That one, yeah, I definitely agree with.
What does that mean?
I'm joking. No, but you do like generally talking, and especially if it's a topic that don't. Especially if it's a topic that you're passionate about. You can really talk about it.
Yeah, of course.
But
if I'm passionate about it, I will.
But that's what I'm saying. Even if it's something that I'm passionate about, like you can tell when I'm passionate about something, but it's going to be a short burst of energy.
Because you generally don't like.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't like talking too much. Generally.
Yeah, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. The only thing I can really talk about is when I'm in the flow and just like preaching or something like that. And then that's fine. That's different.
Yeah, but that's different.
Do you know what I mean? That is different.
That's different.
But
that's
generally,
totally
even if it's like I get something deep in the Bible and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I'm just like, oh yeah, babe, this is that. Can you imagine this, that?
So you're trying to tell me that you're just spiritual.
Huh?
I'm trying to say that you're just when you're spiritual, that's when you talk.
Yeah, I guess
so.
So
if it's unspiritual, you're not interested. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's lovely to have you guys back. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
We have a target, and once we hit that target, we're going to be blessing a number of people out there.
I actually checked the stats, and quite a few people that watch that aren't subscribed to the channel. So
why not? Just subscribe. Do
yourself
and us a favor and just subscribe.
Just share it. Hit the bell
share
button.
It because
anytime you're out.
I mean, you guys keep saying the content is good. When you do subscribe, of course, it just puts us out there a lot more, and more people are able to engage with the content.
Yeah.
So and if you're listening on Apple, whichever other Spotify, do share, leave us a good review.
And subscribe
if you
on there
enjoyed.
as well, because you subscribe on there as well.
You might as well. What are you waiting for?
Just do it.
Just hit it. It's not going to cost you anything. Like we're not going to charge you for it. So just hit it. But we're really intentional about making sure that this is actually blessing a lot of people because you guys have been blessed.
100%.
So let's spread the word and let's reach our goal. We hit our first 1K subscribers. We're doing something good, something big. So we're just going to go straight into today's conversation. And if you listen to the last episode, we're in a month of February. So it's a season of love, so we're focusing a lot more on love, relationships, marriage. Yes, our content is all about relationships and marriage, but we're going deeper, So this month we're speaking about love, and today we're actually talking about some of the things we wish we did differently before saying I do.
What is it?
I'm what is it? What?
I got so much just rushed into my head. No, not like. Come on, man. Like so many things I wish I did.
Yeah, but we're talking about things we would have done differently, though.
100%, and that's the things that I would have did. I would have done.
Cool. Yeah, I guess so.
Did done. Did done.
I mean, by God's grace, we are very happily married and we are blessed.
Yeah.
But we're not living in a delusion that we could have been in a better place if we had done things differently before getting married.
We could have set ourselves up better. And lessons that we learned during marriage, we could have learned before marriage.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, as well. Yeah.
So what kind of lessons have you learned, or some kind of the things
mine
that
are
I've
no
learned?
lessons.
Mine are some of the things that I've learned.
What is it?
During
marriage. That what you would have tried with your ex?
No, man. Some of the lessons that I've learned during marriage that I wish I had practiced before.
Like what?
Like just not talking sometimes.
No, but then if you say that, then it means if you say that, then it means that you used to talk a lot before marriage.
No, I'm talking about like I used to like go back and forth a little bit more, And then it got to a stage where it's like sometimes it's just not worth going back and forth. That's just an example.
But that
it's not
doesn't count, babe.
No, but that's not one of my main ones. Like, I'm
no,
just
that
saying,
doesn't count because that's like do's and don'ts. Like that's things like not to do. But we're talking about things that you would have done when you were single. So back and forth, you can do it single or married.
Yeah, but that's okay. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you go first.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, like, what would you have done before getting married? Like, what would you have been a lot more intentional about before getting married?
All right, cool. You go for your first one, and then I'll...
I definitely would have been intentional about traveling more. Because since being married, every travel is a project.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot of planning, a lot of effort. You know what? When we had our first baby, I remember it's so weird. Maybe because we did have, when we were before our first child, we did have a lot of free time because we're not actively doing a lot of things. So we had a lot of free time, and I remember we used to go everywhere together.
How many times did we travel out of the country before we had our first child?
Never, or once.
Yeah, we went out once. I remember that.
Yeah, we traveled just once before having our first child.
Seriously?
Or twice. Well, yeah, twice. Was it twice?
Did we go to Ghana before?
Yeah. So twice, yeah. So we traveled together twice. Yeah, we did twice. Anywho, but I'm just saying, I would have traveled a lot more.
By yourself?
By myself. Because there's certain things that we just, like right now, we just can't afford to do as a family. I think we had a long break where we hadn't traveled for like 5 years, which now when I think about it, that's insane to me because why not?
Yeah.
Because now thinking of that last trip, I'm like, I forgot how nice it is. Like I've actually forgotten how nice it was to just go away from responsibility for just a few days.
Do you think now you could go? Because obviously you've gone away by yourself.
Yeah.
Not out of the country, but you've gone away by yourself. You booked a hotel.
Yeah,
I've booked you a place and stuff like that.
Staycations. Yeah.
Do you think you can do a good week away from the family now?
It's costly. It's gonna cost us a lot. Like.
No, I don't mean with me. I mean you alone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're talking about it's gonna be costly,
like your single life.
And when I'm saying costly, I'm not talking about financially. Just it's gonna cost us time. It's a lot of planning, a lot of effort. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but that's why I wish I would have done that when I was single. Because when I was single, I didn't have.
How would you feel about it if you had to go away now? Not had to, but I was like, okay, cool. Your flight is tomorrow. You're going to Morocco by yourself.
Like if it's important, like if it was something very...
No, it's just you relaxing.
Or just relaxing.
Yeah. Do you think you'd do it?
I would if it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, I wouldn't.
What kind of things would it make sense? You're thinking like a mom again.
Because I am a mom of 3 children.
I'm talking about like I understand. I'm just saying.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's the whole point of this conversation. When I was single, I had the luxury to do certain things.
Yeah.
Right now, I have responsibility. So that's what I would have done differently. Because the reality now is I can't.
Yeah.
Even if I wanted to.
Not until they're grown up anyway.
Yeah, like I can't just up and leave. Like, and I'm not saying that I can't. I can, but it would take a lot of planning. Like, childcare will be like the number one conversation because if it's within a school season, we need to arrange all of that.
Yeah.
Getting the kids ready, taking them to school, picking them up, making sure that they're fed, doing up their hair, like. I need hands. I need hands to do that. And like, yes, you are a great dad. You're very hands-on, but I wouldn't entrust certain things in your care.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and that's just me being honest.
What things?
Like their hair. Are you going to do their hair? You
maintain.
Can't. That's what I'm saying. There's certain things like you just can't do.
You do it once, I'll do it
unless I have like feminine support, which by the grace of God, like we do have with your mom and stuff. But it's just gonna take planning. So I would have traveled a lot more because now, whenever we have like the urgent desire to travel, it's like.
By yourself or with your boys? I mean,
with my boys. My
with your
boys.
Girls.
Are you prophesied?
I would have done it. I would have done it with my boys like before.
Yeah.
I would have got all my boys together and said, "All right, let's go on a holiday,"
Yeah,
which we never did. Which was
but when the kids are a little bit more independent, I think I'll be doing it quite a bit.
Well, with the girls.
No, by myself.
Really?
Yeah.
To do what?
I like my space.
I'll keep that in mind.
No, but just honestly speaking, like, I do like a bit of me time. Like, and you know it, because I'm generally like a people person.
Yeah.
So there are times like when I do people too much, I'm just like, okay, yeah.
My me times are very different from yours anyway.
Because you generally have me time.
I generally have me time.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
How many times do I have to look for you in this house? And this is not like a 10-bedroom house. But at least once a day, I would be looking for you. Like, where are you? I would go to all the rooms and not find you. Only to find you come out from another room and be like, oh, yeah, I've been here. I'm like, okay.
That's not me time.
What is it? That's how men have me time.
No, don't.
It's true. It's true. Men have me time in the toilet.
I don't spend that long in the toilet. Babe, don't. Listen, we're not going to go there. Don't even. Comparatively,
I don't spend that much time.
Oh my days. Oh my days. Okay, let's not. This is one of the lessons I learned. Just don't talk. So I'll say it in the beginning.
What would you have done differently?
I think the first thing I would have probably done differently is get my career sorted out faster.
Yeah.
I would definitely get my career sorted out faster before I got married. And that's one of the things I said that I had to figure out during marriage.
Right.
And it took a lot of time and it took a lot of effort and it took a lot of patience from you. And obviously it took a toll on the kids and stuff as well.
Yeah.
I think all my ones are to do with like preparing financially and mentally and stuff like that. But mine, definitely take a course, do what I need to do. Because I was, before I was married, I was going through a phase of like loads of different things, and I was just good at a lot of things, so I was just not picking one thing, and I'll do this and I'll do that, and it was promising, and then I'll try something else and it was promising, but it took me a while for me to figure out, okay, cool, this is the one. I would have tried to find the one a bit earlier. Yeah. And hindsight is a beautiful thing, isn't it? If I knew exactly where I was good at. I would have, and by now, especially the position I would have been in, it would have been so much faster, so much further. Yeah. And before, if I was in the position I'm in now, because it didn't take me long to get to where I am now.
And that's what I was coming to talk about. It's great, like, generally speaking, and as a man, like, you want to get your finances sorted out together. But I'm personally very grateful for God's grace in our lives, because even though, of course, like, and I'm not discounting that point because it is a very valid point, and every man should be in that position, but I've seen how God has accelerated time in our case that it does not make sense. You know what I mean? Because when you got into your field, your career, the moment you kicked off, you were in positions that people who had been in that industry for a while would have taken years and years. Yeah. Like, even your very first role in, IT, people took years and years and years and years to get to that point. And as good as it is that, the planning was important, I'm personally grateful for our journey in how God restored time.
Yeah.
God really, really did restore time. And I think and for me, I think it was also, I had a certain confidence in you that even when you were figuring things out, I knew it was seasonal. Do you know what I mean?
That's one question I was asking you.
What?
Because I remember when we were dating, or not dating, but talking. I think I was doing the engineer stuff at that time.
Yeah.
How did it feel when I told you that I'm doing something else?
you don't, it's not like you don't always want to hear that he's always changing his mind. Like he wants to do this today and then he wants to do that tomorrow. I think for me, I was a lot more patient with your journey because I could see the drive that you had. If you were idle, doing nothing, that would have been a totally different conversation.
Yeah.
But the mere fact that I knew that you had the zeal and the passion to do something and put your hands to work at anything at the time that would keep us going as a family. It was your passion behind that made me feel like, okay, I can trust this. I can trust the process, right? And also because you gave me a listening ear, and whenever I spoke, you would listen to me. When I would say like, babe, try that, you would listen. Do you know what I mean? So it didn't give me this sense of pride, like I know what I'm doing, but you're doing like a bunch of things and I'm like, I'm not sure. But you were open to like counsel and support. And I had a lot of confidence in that because I knew that in spite of anything that was happening in the moment, we could always be in agreement on which direction we were taking.
Because the reason why I asked this is because a lot of women look at it as face value. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, if he doesn't know what he's doing, then I'm out.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But really, I think it goes deeper than just working. Do you know what I mean? Because some people will have a job, but the direction is not there. After you get married and you find out they don't like their job, then it makes them frustrated. They don't do anything really.
And I think that's like generally
like that.
That's the role of the woman. Like, we're here to help. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're actually like, I think it's a woman who is, for a lack of a better word, unwise, that would just leave because everything is not figured out. Your role as the woman is to help.
Yeah.
So if he started doing something, what value are you adding to what he's already, doing? And even if it means giving him some kind of support in direction, like, okay, maybe try this or try that. Like, what value
like,
are you adding?
Before.
What do you mean before?
Like, he comes to you, he's approaching you, and he's not really doing anything. Even if he's not currently doing...
No, if he's idle, come on.
No, I don't mean idle, but currently, like, he's on survival mode, and he does things to make money. So he's not like he's got no money. He's not like he's not got any plans or anything like that, But he makes money somehow. He figures things out. He's always, even though he hasn't got one specific career, and for everyone to say that this is what I do, he's I don't want to say hustler because it's been given like a negative
life.
Yeah, he's like
but I get it, and I think
he's a guy. So if you ask him what do you do, he can't really say it. So you go on your first day and you ask him, also, what do you do? And what do you like? What I'm asking is, if not the title, the job title, what can you look for to say that, okay, cool, even though he hasn't got a job title?
And that's what I'm saying, is the drive. It's just seeing that drive. And that's what I was saying with you. I could see the drive, like, to make things happen and to make things work, because provision is not one directional. I think sometimes women who lack understanding think provision comes from a job. When the job is gone, does that mean he can't provide for you anymore? So provision is not one directional. And if you have a partner that knows how to make things happen, that in itself is something to ride with.
Yeah, because even if they become redundant or get made
whatever
redundant,
happens,
they can figure things out.
They can make things happen.
Yeah.
If you're only going with someone who's just has a good job, fair enough, he has a good job. But when he loses his job, what happens?
Yeah.
Is he driven? Would he be in a position to find a better one? Or would he even be in a position to start up a career? Like, look at what happened in COVID. Tons and tons of people were redundant.
Yeah.
So many people were redundant, across the globe. And if you're just with a man who finds his identity just by his job title, when the job title is stripped of him, what's he left with?
Yeah.
You know? So I think just look at the man behind, look at him as who he is and not what he does.
There was one thing that I heard. I forgot where I heard it exactly, but I think it was, it was listening to a pastor preaching, a bishop preaching. And I was listening to him preach, and he was talking about how times have moved on. And he was watching a documentary about how they recorded or just shot a movie scene. And there was a man riding a helicopter. And on the helicopter, a cameraman was hanging on the helicopter. And he was describing how he was so amazed about their job and how people were in awe of them and they were getting real good money. And all of a sudden, the drone comes out. And now the drones are out and it's come down in prices and the camera qualities are getting better. They're out of the job. Just like that. But you need someone who can think on his feet. Yeah. And figure things out instead of, I better learn how to drive drones. I better how to fly drones and work the cameras or work in a certain industry so that you can see things ahead of time and figure out, rather than saying, boasting in your title, you also have to see that they have the drive and the vision to make things work. So I guess it's not just about, he's an accountant. Very soon computers will replace accountants, and then what's going to happen next?
The world is changing so quickly. So you need people that can be very adaptable and very relevant to the times and seasons that we're in. One other thing that I would have done, and it sounds like a lot, but I would have actually invested more time in my education.
Really?
That's what I'm saying, that it sounds weird coming from me because I had done my master's before getting married.
That's what I'm saying. You spent a hell of time in uni.
I lived my whole life in school. And I know it sounds crazy, but one of the things, I think one of the smartest advice I've had from my brother, I talk to my brother a lot. And he told me, when it comes to your career, never stop learning.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because that's your advantage. Like, even up to now, to this very day, I'm taking a course. Yeah. Like, I've done some courses and I'm still taking a course. And I think if you want to be relevant in today's society, things are changing, systems are changing, tools are changing, management approaches are changing. Yeah. And you have to be abreast with time. And I would have spent more time maybe exploring, maybe what I mean to say is out of the traditional educational system, which is, of course, because I went to uni, did my undergrad, straight on, I went to do my master's, but I would have explored. So I would have explored maybe in the area, because, I started off, for those who didn't know, I started off in architecture. So if there were other things that I could have specialized in, even if they were like courses, I would have taken advantage of that. Yeah. And been gone more towards certain niches that would be good leverage for my career trajectory. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because right now it's hard.
Studying and having a family and stuff
like that? It's a lot going on. Yeah. I'm literally sitting down here and I have to be very, very intentional about the time that I make for the courses that I'm taking. It takes a lot of time and dedication and effort. So maybe I would have done a lot more in that regard that I could have used to my advantage.
Just various different little things out of architecture or things that link to architecture.
Architecture, even things that I had interest in.
Key skills
I probably would have taken business management courses. Because I now thinking about it, I have interest in stuff like that. So just the mere fact that I had an interest in that, if there was a short course that I could have taken at a time, not because I was looking for a job, but because I had the interest in it, that would have been something in my pocket to work with in the future. Yeah, yeah. Because now juggling it with kids, ministry, home, it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
You know what? Yeah, I remember when I was doing the IT course and I went to Ghana on a holiday. And even then, I had to take my laptop with me and I had to do some revision and some studying and stuff like that. So 100%, I get what you mean. That as time goes on, you get less time to do it.
Yeah, but it's important.
Yeah, if you do live by yourself, you can actually make time and say, okay, this is the time that I'm going to do it, and this is the time I'm going to use to study, this is the time I'm going to use to do the exams and everything, and it becomes a lot easier. My next one is save.
Which ties back to finances.
You know what, I think all of mine is just preparing for what, because I feel like, even though a lot of people would disagree with me, I feel like I lived a full life before I got married.
What does that mean?
Like, there's nothing that I look back at and be like, damn, I should have done this. Damn, I should have done this. I think most of mine is to prepare me for the next stage. Because I think I was focusing too much on not enjoying life, but I was just so, this is my life, let me enjoy it, let me do what I want to do. And you know me, I'm a home person.
Like, not with the future in mind.
Exactly. And my dad was like one of the people that was like always pressing me, think about this. And I was just like, yeah, okay, I'll think about it. And I did think about it, but not
you
as
didn't move
urgently
in that direction,
as urgently as I should have. And I think saving was one of the things that I did passively, rather than the way right now, we're like, okay, cool, this is how much we're saving, and we have a certain amount, and everything that you spend is the surplus of what you put aside.
It's actually easier to do it when you're single, because
100%.
You have
100%, especially if you're living with your parents.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Especially if you're living with your parents. Like, now it's like we're aggressively saving, where it's like we're putting this much aside, and anything that's left is surplus, and that's what we spend. But it was the other way around when I was younger, where it was like, I'll spend as much as I can, and whatever's left, I'll just put it aside. So if I'm left with like £100, and I'll put it aside. Next month it's like £50, and I'll put it aside.
And I guess maybe also with like, in relation to that, would be investing. Because of course, like, you can only save so much. Yeah, 100%. But when you actually do invest your money, it grows with you over time.
Yeah.
So maybe also one of the things, it's not my point, but I guess, like, generally speaking, in terms of finances, is to make sure that you're actually investing your money in a way that it grows with you. Yeah. As you grow. But
because I remember the time that I started saving aggressively, I was making quite a lot of money as doing engineering stuff. Yeah. And I was making quite a lot of, not relatively now, like not a lot of money compared to now, but like a lot of money at the time for what I needed. Do you know what I mean? I was making a lot more than what I needed. And I was putting so much money aside that I was able to, like, when it came to the wedding, I was able to support like quite well. And so that's when I started doing it. And when I started saying, okay, cool, like, I'm actually getting married, and I can't allow her to come into my life and there's nothing put aside. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And that's when I started to become aggressive with my saving. And if I had started a little bit earlier, if I'd been like that for like from maybe my teenage years, when my dad was telling me, my 20s, my early 20s, it would have been a lot better. I started when I was 25, 26 maybe. And it was like a year or two into the marriage, before the marriage, that I was like, okay, cool, like, let me start. And even from there, I was able to save quite a bit. But if I had started earlier, it would have been a lot better. But yeah, that would be my second one. Like, just,
I would have invested into building long-lasting friendships.
Ooh.
Yep. Because by the time you get married and you're growing, your friendship circles are shrinking. They're really shrinking. Because number one, you're very busy. Your time is not, you don't have as much time as you did before.
And your friends are getting married too.
Your interests are
changing,
streamlined. Yeah. You're very focused on the things that you're interested in. You're not interested in that many things. Your friends are getting married as well. Yeah. So they're also busy. Their time is taken, and it takes extra effort to keep friendships. Yeah. Like, that's why people are gravitating towards low maintenance friendships, because It's like the time is actually not there. And I would have been really intentional with my friendships and keeping, not even just keeping, but I think the word is intentionality. I would be very intentional about my friendships and those that I wanted to stay with me for a very long time. Because I think I was just living ignorantly of the fact that friends don't go the whole way with you. I had them there, but then I was thinking, okay, yeah, that my friends are here. But I didn't realize, like I wasn't awakened to the fact that they're not going to go the whole long way with you if you're actually not investing into the friendship, because naturally the next season of life that you're entering in will not even allow you to spend that much time with them. And now thinking about it, I've had to like put in effort in maintaining the few that are left. You know, the few that are left, because now making new ones I don't know how, like, that is a whole different grace altogether. Like, actually making new friends.
Someone said something really interesting. It hit me hard. They said, I read it on Twitter or something. They said, one day you played out with your friends for the last time, but you didn't even know it.
You didn't know that was the last time you were playing with them.
Damn, that is so true.
Yeah.
I remember walking down one of the pathways that I used to, like my friend used to live on, and with that where they lived, the street that they lived on was where we used to play football, and we used to knock for him, get him out, and then we used to play football in this bit that used to be like a goal, but it was like kind of in front of someone's house, or be sometimes hitting someone's door, and all of these things. We used to run away after the ball hits the door, and they used to come out and like, stop playing football in front of my, and I walked past there with my brother, and it was just, it hit me so hard that damn, like that's a lot gone. That's a lot of time gone. Like, and I don't remember the last time we went out. I don't remember the last time we rode our bikes. I don't remember the last time I owned a bike. You know, I don't remember all of those things. And now speaking to them, if I was to call them or anything, it's not the same. What do we even
talk about?
It's not the same conversations. It's not the same path that we're on. We don't have the same interests. I'm in church all the time. Some of them aren't.
And I guess sometimes that's why people do say that marriage is lonely, because not because like your partner is not available, but your circles are really getting smaller. And they get so small that there's not much that you can communicate with people. There's not even much support as you would like in your young years. So it really, and even with life in general, they do say that it's lonely at the top because there's not that many people there. And I think in godly marriages as well, there's not that many people that are modeling it the way that Christ modeled it with the church. And so when you're being intentional about living a married life the way it's intended to be, there's not that many people that are in agreement with that, you know, style of marriage. Like, some people feel like it's okay when you're married, and I'm not like dismissing it for anyone else, but generally speaking, there's only so much that you can actively do well for your marriage if you live like a single man in a marriage. So like, you're married, but you're out with the boys, you're doing the regular stuff that single people do. You're not going to get the outcome of marriage that is desired and at the standard that, you know, is worthy of praise. You know what I mean? So I think being intentional about it in your pre-marriage years will do you a lot of benefit when you're married, because these are the friendships that would, you know, go the long way with you. So that would be mine.
Well, it's like, what the point of this whole thing is not that we regret anything. But it's mainly to just let everyone know that
there are things you can take advantage of.
There's things you can take advantage of. Like, don't be so consumed by
with the next phase of marriage.
Next phase of anywhere in life, you know, that you're just so absorbed that you don't take in what you have, the journey now,
where you're at now.
You know, there's a lot of things that, you know, if you could go back, you'd probably change, you'll do differently, you'll try to do this. make those changes now, and don't wait till the future where it's like, okay, cool, it's too late now. I wish I had done this. I wish I had done this. I wish I had done this. But make the most of where you are now. It doesn't matter if you're single. Just make the most out of it. Enjoy yourself. Go out. Go with your friends. Travel. Do everything that you can do. And then when you get into a relationship, then you look back and you say, okay, cool. I think I lived a full life. I think I did everything that I need to do.
Because I'm not going to lie, yeah. When I see the way some people live their life now, yeah, I'm thinking you're single and you're already complaining. When you get married, you're going to be on the floor.
Yeah.
Because if you're actually complaining about these things when you're single, I cannot imagine what your married life would be.
And all the people that are so desperate to be in relationships as well. I'm just like, why are you so desperate? Like,
desperation.
I think being in a relationship is advertised, like, and it's sold more than it is enjoying your single life. You see, most of the people online who are happy, it's like, relationships. I mean, we're here. We're here, and people.
I mean, it's a good thing to desire marriage and all that, but you shouldn't be desperate.
And the reason why I'm saying this is because I have seen the attention that a relationship gets. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
I've seen like people are like, I really love your relationship. I really love your relationship. But before, like, they didn't care about me like that. They didn't care about me like that. But there's a blessing, and definitely a blessing in marriage, but there is also a blessing in the phase that you have and the phase that you're in your singleness. So just enjoy yourself, have a good time, do what you can, make the most out of it. And I promise you, when you get into marriage, things will change. There'll be good things coming with the marriage, but there'll be also things that will hinder you from doing the things that you wanted to do before, because life changes. Life changes. Anyway, that's everything. Just want to remind everyone, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to follow our Instagram, Kobe Says, and Alberta Esehene.
On Instagram.
Yes. And just follow us, drop us a message. We need some more questions from you guys that we're going to be in the next few podcasts. Going to be answering some of your questions as well.
So that we can address them individually. So
put your questions out there, do what you need to do, and then we'll be happy to get back to you as well.
All right, that's all we have for today. We hope you have a lovely week, and we'll catch you next week.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.